What's going on, guys? It's your boy Billy Chuck coming at you with episode 24. This episode, we're going to dive into the legendary career of Mr. Serj Tankian from System of a Fucking Down. Let's go. But Serj from System of a Down is from Armenia, and he is the lead singer of System of a Down. And he founded System of a Down, and he released 5 albums with System of a Down. Five albums with System of a Down. There is self-titled album. You remember that album? That had spiders and war, and that was when he had that big fucking afro. But their next album, Toxicity, that was my favorite album. Remember that song on their Toxicity album? How's it go? Wired with the eyes of the horse of the jet pilot, when he smiled when he flew over the bay. Wild with the eyes of the horse of the jet pilot, when he smiled when he flew over the bay. Wild with the eyes of the horse of the jet pilot, when he smiled when he flew over the bay. Yeah, I still don't know what that shit mean, but it sounds good though. But after that album, they had the album called Still This Album, and then Mesmerize and Hypnotize. And he also has 5 solo albums: Elect the Dead, Imperfect Harmonies, Harakiri, Orca and Jazz is Christ, and Elasticity. He has collaborated with Tech Nine, Arto. I'm not even gonna attempt that one, but he's a folk singer. If you guys want to help with that, that Arto's folk singer's last name. But he also released Elect the Dead Symphony, a live orchestral version of Elect the Dead featuring Philharmonica Orchestra. He is the He is the founder of the record label Surgical Strike Records. He is currently represented by Velvet Hammer Music and Management Group. Anyways, Serj is considered one of the best vocalists in heavy metal, with much praise given to his delivery and his wide vocal range. In 2006, he was ranked number 26 on the Hit Parader list of top 100 heavy metal vocalists. A study conducted by VVN Music found that Serj possesses a high and diverse vocal range of 4.2 octaves. Not me. I have maybe 1 or 2. In 2002, he co-founded the non-profit political activism organization called Axis of Justice, alongside guitarist and fellow activist Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine and Velvet Revolver. Just Rage Against the Machine. But in 2011, he was awarded the Armenian Prime Minister's Medal for his contributions to the recognition of Armenian genocide and the advancement of music. So, the more you know. But Serj was born in Beirut, Lebanon on August 21st, 1967. he traces his ancestry to the cities of Dortoil, Kayseri, Tokat, and Urfa, for countries that I have never heard of, but all of which are in modern-day Turkey. His 4 grandparents were survivors of the Armenian genocide. At age 7, he moved to the U.S. with his parents, and the family settled in L.A. In his youth, he attended the bilingual Rose and Alex Pilibos Armenian School, which was also attended by his future System of a Down bandmates Darren Malakian and Shavo Adagian. I never could pronounce their names. Serj was accepted into CalU's Northridge, graduating with a marketing degree in 89. Damn, bro. In 89, I was in first grade. During his sophomore year, he first began to play instruments, particularly the keyboard, and that's when he learned to write songs. In an interview in 2021, Serj said he was very lost. He was playing music at home, but he didn't have a band. He didn't have any connection, and his visions hadn't interpreted that this was his future yet. He was like probably 22 or 23 when he was really discovering it. He was driving home. He had a Jeep Wrangler. As he remembers it, it was raining, very dramatic, and he really always say he had to go to the far reaches of who he didn't want to be, to admit to himself who he really is. And then he was in his car and literally stopped, and he would just go, I just want to fucking do music. This is bullshit. I don't want to do all this shit. And that was that day that changed his life forever. From then on, anything he did was with the idea that he's going on this path. He got to do whatever he got to do to be on that path. But did you guys know that after Serj graduated, he briefly worked with his uncle, who was a jeweler? He also signed up for the LSAT, even though he hated lawyers. When he went to the first class, he said that he noticed that everyone else who attended was happy to be there and that he was miserable. He never showed up to a law class ever again. He also briefly was the CEO of a software company. In his words, it was quite successful considering it was pre-Windows. He made in the era of MS-DOS, making software for jewelers who he had experience with. He eventually sold the company before he got the first check from System of a Down. But he also started the activism during his college years, attempting to draw attention to the recognition of the Armenian genocide during his time as president of the university's Armenian Students Association. He said that his activism started with the Armenian Youth Federation, the AYF, and the Shant Student Association of the Armenian Revolutionary Federation, or the ARF. But Serj started his career in System of a Down in 94. They called the band Soil, not to be confused with the progressive rock band Soil that's based in Chicago. with Serj on vocals and keyboards, Darren on vocals and lead guitar, and Dave Hakopian on bass, and Domingo Lariano, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, Domingo Lariano on drums. The band initially hired Odagian as their manager before he was into the transition into the rhythm guitarist. Lariano and Hopkin later left the band feeling that it was not going anywhere, leading to Soil splitting up. I like the name System of a Down better. I'm glad they didn't stick with the basic name of Soil. But after the split, Serj and the rest of the guys formed System of a Down after a poem that Darren wrote called Victims of a Down. The band recruited drummer Andy, an old school friend of Darren, and Odagian, who had played with Darren in a band called Snowblind during their teens. In mid-97, he left the band because of a hand injury. He subsequently co-founded the Apex Theory, which included former Soil bassist Dave Hakopian, but he was later replaced by John Dolman. Dolman is also, of course, the drummer for Scars on Broadway and the band called Indicator. The band began touring the Southern California rock clubs, including a strong following. So, as badass as System of a Down is, I don't think it was that difficult for them to start building a following. They are so fucking original. But sorry guys, I had to get the glass piece. The band achieved commercial success with the release of 5 studio albums, 3 of which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart. System of a Down has been nominated for 4 Grammy Awards, and their song BYOB, Bring Your Own Bombs, won the Best Hard Rock Performance in '06. In May of the same year, the band announced they were going on a hiatus. So, on November 29th of 2010, following several weeks of internet rumors, System of a Down officially announced that they would play shows in Europe during festivals and in North America, mostly in the U.S., embarking on a tour for the following 3 years. The band was in limbo of not releasing any new tracks until November 2020 when they released Protect the Land and Genocidal Humanoids, which were songs that were made to help the cause of the Second Nagorno-Karabakh War. The song's profits went to the Armenia Fund. So, there you go. But Serj embarked on his solo career. His first track was called, of course, it was called Elect the Dead. The first singles from Elect the Dead are The Unthinking Majority and Empty Walls. The music video Feed Us was released on the Swedish and UK MTV. A music video was directed and filmed for every song on the record. Every song on the record, each by unique directors, Serj explained. He asked each of the directors for their visual interpretation of his work. They were asked not to write treatments and that they could make whatever they liked. The results have been overwhelmingly amazing. So, there you go. 3 different promo versions of the album have surfaced to the public. The instrumental promotional version, issued by Surgical Strike Reprise Records and intended for the music of the movie industry, contains instrumental versions of 12 album tracks. Another promotional version issued by Reprise Records and made only for individual reviewers features the album in the final master form. This promotional CDR, which was labeled Smart Talk as a code name for serjtankian to prevent leaking by unauthorized people, also indicates that the album was finalized prior to August 20th of 07. Time out real quick. I just have to get right. So, Serj is passionate about his human rights, obviously, and the recognition of genocides and social justice. These traits have helped to shape his lyrical style. And if you guys are into System of a Down, you know they're very political. He has organized and participated in many protests, from Armenian genocide recognition to the Axis of Justice protests held by him and AOJ co-founder Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. He also covers current issues in his music. In his music, issues like the war on terror, overpopulation, genocide, environmentalism, and the American prison system are addressed. So I'm not a follower of the U.S. prison system. I think it's fucking bullshit. But he and his System of a Down bandmates were featured in the 2006 documentary film called Screamers, which covers the United States position on genocide. In the film, Serj interviews his grandfather, Stepan Haitian, a survivor of the Armenian genocide, who recounts his experience of it. So, there you go. Serj said in an interview that he has the same religion as that tree over there. Me too, bro. Me too. He said it's a mix of Native American, Christian, Buddhist, and transcendental ideas. He likes to think of Earth as his mother. He likes to think of the sky as his grandfather. God has been used for ulterior motives. In another interview, Serj said, I believe very firmly that the indigenous populations are a really good intuitive understanding of why we're here. And and we're trying to gain the same understanding through psychology and intellect in modern civilization. So there you go. But anyways, not to get off topic, have you guys ever seen this shit? It's called alien tape. It's a thick ass, sticky ass fucking tape. No shit. Best shit I ever bought. But anyways, back to this fucking shit. So, following the September 11 attack, Serj wrote an essay in which he stated, "If we carry out bombings on Afghanistan or elsewhere to appease public demand, and very likely kill innocent civilians along the way, we'd be creating many more murders and going to their deaths in retaliation against the retaliation." As shown from the events on September 11th, you cannot stop a person who's ready to die. And from that perspective, I never thought about it like, he's right. Like, what are you going to do? Like, dude's ready to die. Just like them World Trade Center fucking attacks back in like 93 or 94. That motherfucker drove a truck into the basement of the World Trade Center, ready to blow shit up. So, you can't cure crazy. That kind of crazy. If they want to die, they're gonna die. But in the 08 Democratic Party primaries, Serj originally supported Dennis Kucinich, but subsequently stated that Barack Obama presents the best possible scenario for a hopeful future. But he don't personally put any of his trust in any political office. Thank you, Serj. I concur. In the 2016 Democratic primaries, he endorsed Bernie Sanders and wrote on Facebook, "When it comes to standing up for all the oligarchs leading the fight for civil rights, income equality, and so much more, no other politician has been so consistent and incorruptible as Bernie Sanders." He further praised Bernie. He said what he's done, and he done what he says in the Senate. All of his contributions are from private individuals. Alright, now it's time. I'm going to give you guys a little bit about Serj's film career. In 2006, he was in the movie Screamers. In 2012, he was in a movie called My Little Prince. In 2016, he was in The Last Inhabitant. In 2016, he was in 1915. In 2017, he was in Furious. 2018, he was in Spitak. 2021, he was in Truth to Power. In 2020, last year, he was in Crime Scene, the Texas Killing Fields. I'm gonna have to rewatch that. I don't remember. I believe I've seen that, and I don't remember Serj. But this year he was in Madoff, the Monster of Wall Street. He in 2002, and he got some awards too for his ass got Best Metal Performance in 2002 with Chop Suey. In 2003, Best Hard Rock Performance goes to Ariel's BYOB and Lonely Day. So, such a lonely day, and it's mine. The most loneliest day of my life. Yeah, that one. I love that song. In 2005, System of a Down won an MTV Europe Music Award for Best Alternative Band. In 2006, System of a Down won an MTV Good Woody Award for their song Question. What the fuck is an MTV Good Woody Award? Good Woody Award. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments as always. So, there you go. Rock on. On June 9th of 2012, Serj married his longtime girlfriend, Angela. She's an Armenian woman from Van Zador in a private ceremony in Simi Valley, California. On October 24th of 2014, he announced they had a son. Congrats. The family lives intermittently between Warkworth, New Zealand, and LA as of 2015. Serj is also the brother-in-law of a System of a Down bandmate, John Domain, and their wives are sisters. I never knew that. In 2018, Serj founded the Kavat Coffee Company, a company that focuses on Armenian coffee. So, there you go. That's all I got for your asses about Serj from System of a Down. And if you're wondering who was singing or who was playing the intro music, that's my boy Mike Warner. Did all the music, and that's your boy on lead vocals.